Today I am cutting out spotlights on this property I'm rewiring currently. So this is the stage in between first and second fix. Nice quiet day today as it's a Sunday. So this is your kitchen. I've cut out half of them already. Still got that side left and then across this way. We're going for plasterover lights from Saxby. So just these. And then I need to cut out 5 speakers in the ceiling here for surround sound. That's just a TV wall. And this is going to be plastered over LED profiles. Going to make a nice feature out of it. As the dining table is going to be here, so it will look nice next to it. And then literally got an LED profile going here in the ceiling, all the way across. And it's going to wrap around, back up the staircase and follow this one. It's going up. Like that. And I've got to cut out a couple spots here, a couple spots in the bathroom. This is just a utility area. This is where my fuse board is going to go and everything. So once that's prepared, something special coming up for this wall. And yeah, let's get started. Alright, that's all the spots cut out in this area. Now I'm just going to start stripping them. Hanging all these down. And then once that's all done, we'll glue and staple these to the ceiling so it's ready to get plastered over. One thing I don't understand about these lights, these are from Saxby. Now, does this class as single insulated? Because obviously you're not meant to have single insulated cables exposed like this. Let me know. Strip this. Alright, on the light, the neutral's on the right side. So what I like to do is twist my cables so the neutral's on the right. Cut them the same length. I know roughly how much to cut because I've done these lights before. Obviously all lights are different. And then strip them, bowl the live and neutrals on the sides like this because the terminals are wide apart, so you just want them to go in straight. Get the earth sleeve in. Chuck that in. Point the earth cable up so the earth sleeving don't fall out. There. Get your light, and then there's a piece of plastic in there. This is made for 1mm, 2.5 I think. They don't fit this 1.5, so I'll throw that away. Then get your first cable. As you can see, live neutral earth. Push that in. Give it a little tug. It's all good. Second one, it's all good. And then just twist your cable to the side so it slots into the little slots like that, and that will allow your lid to close. And then just point that inwards. Right here, now it's time for the glue. Before you glue this in, just gonna check it fits. It fits nicely. Make sure your G10 holder is out. Because after what happens is, with the tension, you won't be able to change your bulb or whatever because you won't be able to pull this down. Make sure you got enough slack on this. Grab your glue. I'm using sticks like shit. Just put it on the inside of the mesh. put a few dots around. Just like that. Again, do turn it over before you stick it up. Right, that's enough play for it. Then what you want to do is, once you push it up, give it a little twist and squeeze so all the glue comes out. And then obviously if I let go of this, this is going to fall, only because the glue isn't dry. So I'll just use a staple gun. And I'll put a few staples around, just to hold it in place. Like that. These ones I missed. And then what you want to do is clean off all the excess glue, otherwise it's going to dry and then the plaster is going to swear at you for obvious reasons. Let's give it a nice little wipe down, and then your light should look like that at the end. So that should be dry by tomorrow, and then whenever the plasterer wants to plaster, you can plaster. So I'm just going to crack on with the next 11 and then we'll move on to the next room. One more thing, the reason I do this is because when I first started doing plasterover lights years ago, we used to cut loads of small battens and then we used to put them in the hole, screw them on the inside, put a light in and screw to the batten. But obviously that's more time consuming, and over the years you find out better solutions and quicker ways to do it. That's more convenient for you. Right, that's all the lights second fixed and all glued on. Altogether there's 12 of them. There are 4 more lights going here, but what we're going to do with those is, because there's kitchen units going on this wall, now I don't want to put the plasterover lights in now, only because we want them to be in the center of each unit. If I do them now, when they install the kitchen, it's always going to move left or right. Even if it's 10-20 mil, you're not going to get an even shade of light on each unit. So what we're doing is the plasterer is going to plaster up to this point. Once the kitchen's installed, I'm going to cut my lights out, and then just that little section he's going to plaster after, just so I can get my lights bang on in the right place. Otherwise you're going to tell with the shades that go on the kitchen units. But now I'm just going to cut these lights, not lights, speakers out. It's 2 rear speakers in the ceiling and 3 front, just here. And then we'll move into the next room, which is the downstairs WC and the little corridor. Right, just marking out the speakers now. So because this is a big area to measure off the wall by myself, what I've done is, I know my 2 speakers, rear speakers, are in the middle of this joist. Now that wall there is crooked, they need to straighten that wall up, goes at an angle, so I can't measure off that. What I've done is, I know this steel here is straight. I'm measuring from the edge of this steel into the center of this joist, the speakers are 200mm. So when you put ceiling speakers in, just make sure you know the size, and they can only really go in the center of the jerseys. Now, one second. That's the speaker hole there. So that's 210. So that will cover the speaker. So now I've made my mark from the steel, which is 300. This mark here. I'll replicate that a bit further down to this point from the steel. And then I'm just going to get my laser and just line it up with the two marks. So that's all lined up there. And then I'm going to mark out the two speakers, whatever width I need up between them. And then I'll do the same for the three going in this section here, making sure the two outer ones line up with these outer ones, and then the center ones obviously center of this wall here. That's the speakers marked out. One's going here. As you can see, when I marked out the speaker, I put a circle and a tick next to it. It's just a little helpful thing if you have loads of marks around the ceiling. With a tick, you know that that's the cutout you need to make. So I've done that with all of them. So that's the second one. And then you've got your front left, your front center, and your front right. So I'm just going to cut them out now. And I'll probably need to cut the Celotex as well, but yeah, that's not a problem. Right, speakers all cut out. I've already started in that little hallway just outside the WC. So spot there. I had to make a little patch there because of the boxing they've made there. I've had to shift my spotlights over. So made a patch there and fed the cable through. And they're just powered by this PIR sensor, which is recessed. Now just cutting 3 spotlights in here. These ones are a bit different. So these are going to be black. The reason for that is the whole bathroom is going to be a black theme, so it's all going to be dark. But yeah, the IP65, just give them a go. These are a bit different, they come with the clips as well, so they can hold the light up while you glue it, which is good. These are done. I think black looks better, to be honest, even on the white ceiling. If you're going for this kind of look in the house, then 100% that's the one. But this bathroom's done. I'm just going to pull out the LED niche cable from that corner. It's just tucked up there. And then, yeah, spotlights are done for today. I won't be able to do this ceiling because that's not ready for me yet. But what we will do is mark out the LED profiles that are going from the ceiling. It's going to go across and then down the wall, all in different lengths. So I'm probably going to mark that out as I'm getting the builders to cut that out, because I don't really have any time to be here after today and they want to crack on. So I'm going to mark that out for them, and then that's all ready for them to cut out. I think that's going to be it for today. So I've got my midpoint. That's going to be an LED going straight from the floor to ceiling, and the same length is going to replicate on the ceiling. And then we're going to have another 2, which is going to be a bit shorter than that, and then they're going to replicate the same length from the ceiling. And then you've got another 2 which are going to be even shorter, and then vice versa. So let's mark these out. Show you how it's gonna be. So if you see, this is your wall. You got one LED strip going straight down. That's the longest one. Then you're having two like that. These two are going to be the same length. And then you got two more shorter ones, which are going to be the same length. And that is going to get replicated on the ceiling. So it kind of gives you like a diamond shape, if you understand. Once it's all installed, then you'll see. Alright, that's all marked up. I don't know how well you can see that, but this is the middle LED strip. It's going to go 1.7 meters down, and that's going to replicate 1.7 meters on the ceiling, and it's going to join with this pendant. So when this pendant goes on, it looks like the LED strip's going inside. So that's your centerpiece, and then you got the two side pieces which end here, and that is the same length as the one on this side of the middle one, and that's going to replicate on the ceiling the same length. And then you got the two small outer ones, which is here. That's going to be the same on the ceiling, and it's the same as this. So I've marked up how the design is going to be. Now I'm going to let the builders know to just mark it up on the ceiling and just cut it all out and then install the LED track.